Hey folks, it's June 4th, um, 3:56 Central, 4:56 p.m. Eastern. Let's start with a review from the top down. We have been tracking the markets higher from the May 29th low, and given the CIT strength on June 5th, we're moving higher. We picked up the lows correctly this week, including the powerful CIT on second, and then heading into what may end up becoming the June top date, precisely on a daily close or on an hourly close. Once again, at the risk of repeating myself, we should see a wave 4 here or a wave A down and a retest later on because these two CITs are of the same strength. That's the way I would call this. So, so probably good point to lighten up on your longs here. And, we already discussed the strategies that you could be potentially taking. So, here we are, and looking at this, hopefully the high comes in um, at close or at least past midday or even after hours, kind of like what happened last Friday, where market showed some residual strength after the regular close, and you got some more points high and then a back down on Sunday. So something of that sort is possible, but once again, if you review yesterday's video, could end up looking like a gap down on Sunday. Um, and by the way, that gap down versus gap up can only be determined based on the signal we have tomorrow. So and then move back higher into this, and then basically a down day on 11th. The alternate obviously would be something like, oops, something like, if the signal is still okay tomorrow, then maybe so fifth, sixth, seventh open higher, and then down, maybe something like this. Okay, so that's how things might play out over the next almost 2 weeks, even though the actual top might, or closing basis top might end up occurring here. So from there, the monthly wave, we're still riding it, seems fine. This is 3079.62 for tomorrow's session. So that's a level to watch. Basically, it's reflecting where the monthly wave is at right now. And obviously, it's still moving higher. Okay. And And then this is actually from yesterday, June 3rd. The predicted bar is a doji yesterday with a retest of the midline. And obviously, I was suggesting 3088 on ES. So that'll be like 3092. I think the low was 3090 or so. So the point is that was kind of the predicted bar. And look at the actual result. And if you notice differences in the midline, like today is 31 or 1.47 versus 3097.4 at yesterday's close, it's because the VIX value I'm discovering is not all that real time. And I try and do the post right after the close, and the VIX is still updating. So I fix the data based on actual closes. So yeah, so for tomorrow, the predict is, and there is only one way this can happen, as by actually holding on to the lows from today. If the lows fall, the top is in, and that will defy basically the timing calendar 6-5. So low probability, but just to kind of make you aware. If today's low falls, we're done. Okay, so uh, in the alternate would be in case we get done in, let's say, after hours, we move here 3079, and then I think the close would simply be a double top to Wednesday, okay, at 6.5 close. So I still expect that we will see one more retest, ideally a higher high, because I can't see wave 5 on elite waves yet. Okay, and so moving on. Um, oh, sorry, I should cover the bar from tomorrow. So tomorrow's bar is, we managed to close above the midline again today. So the dailies kind of survived. Okay. Um, I think we go no more than 3166.47. Even that is a stretch. Most likely we manage to get to the midpoint at best, which is 3144, which is kind of what I was predicting earlier in the week. So I think that's kind of the best case, 3144. And then we are likely to retest the Wednesday highs at 3131 roughly. So let's just say 3131 through 3144 could mark the top this week. And if tomorrow's signal is a failure, that could be the top. If tomorrow's signal is not a failure, then obviously we're seeing some flattish stuck up SU series into 10th. That might end up giving some more points up, but the daily closes will tend to be flat against June 5th. So the gains, market will not be able to keep the gains. Okay, so on the Michan model, we have a failure where the close today is actually below the daily pivot at 3114.19. And recall earlier this today, I had mentioned that no matter where the market goes, we are going to retest this. So we cleared this again, but this is again, this sustains on daily basis. So no matter where the market goes, we are going to come down. This is not a healthy signal. However, if you look at the overall daily pivot movement, it's still rising and it is not on sell. So that's kind of the status on this front. The weakness is becoming apparent, but it's not very forceful yet. Um, the time series is flattening out, as you can see. Um, Too many drawing tools. So I don't see how we could have additional sustained move higher. But again, we get three peaks here. We've seen one, two, so one is missing. So that emboldens my call for actually revisiting the highs again. And then looking at the daily series, daily wave, what you would notice is uh, you have a high here and a low here, kind of like towards midnight, could invert. If it inverts, then we might have achieved 31, uh, 31 through 3144 here. I doubt it. I think it happens tomorrow during RTH. Um, so we'll just have to see. Okay, so that was kind of the downtrend here intraday that gave us the low. I actually took the overlapping positive and negative cycles, something that Lieutenant Eric pointed out I should do, and it is a helpful tool for those who are tracking in real time. So, obviously 7:15 is a key CIT this evening. If we move higher, we could be higher somewhere into midnight through 3 a.m. with a retest point at 10 p.m. and then recycle the gains. And by the way, don't go by the price magnitude here. That just gets defined by the actual action. So this is just a cyclical view. Okay, this is how the time series could flow. And then we get a retest, and this retest could simply be like this, a retest of what happens in the evening. And then from here we could be stuck up rest of the day or fail around 12:57. So I don't know which one it's gonna be. There's many ways it could play out, and when we wake up in the morning, there might be some additional clues against the real time series. I put the CITs again, 755. You get like a retest of this zone, whether low or high, again at the open, and continue higher, another crossover for continuation CIT. Lots of overlap. Really don't know how it's gonna play out, but looking at the time series, it might be just up till 12:57. Looking at synergizing all of the systems and the Elliott wave positioning uh, with the failure on the Michan model, the hourlies actually managed to issue a buy on hourlies. Um, and this type of buy, when I actually see failure on Michan and the actual close is below the daily pivot, uh, this buy basically means that the low of the day has to hold if the market has to continue moving higher. Obviously, these targets are opening up, and I don't expect we surpass 31.44. And by the way, we actually never surpassed 3132.27, kind of like the midpoint of 3105.76 and 3159.38 to kind of usher in 3159.38. So that midpoint is still holding. And if that gets exceeded, then these two will come into play, and this, we're likely to fail before 3154.33. And this was kind of the June target, and we're 29 points shy of this, and it's getting risky. So that's the update, and key day tomorrow, and let's see what happens. Good luck, folks.